Alright YouTube, in this video we are going to see how to create user login functionality for checking out. So we are in the shopping cart website. In case if a user want to buy a product, he should has an account. So this is the process where he can create the account and he can use the created account login to log in into the product section. So it will show once you are logged in, you can get into the checkout page. So if I try to checkout page, if I try to access checkout page, it will not allow me because I have not logged in yet. So to log in, what we have to do is I have to create an account. So let me create an account called admin123@gmail.com. The same password I'm using here. We'll skip this functionality because we have already completed. So if I click on register, we can see the checkout page. Now the checkout page is accessible. Now let's log out. Click on log out. If I try to access again checkout, it will not allow me because the session is closed after clearing the logout. So to access again, we are not going to again register it. If you try to register it, you will get error message because we have already created this account. The database is already available. Sorry, this data is already available in the database. So if you try to register it again, you will see error creating account. So the data won't be created. So in that case, you have to log in with the created account and click on login, and now it is accessible. Again, if you click log out, the checkout page won't be available unless you log in again with the account which you have created right now. I click login and go somewhere and again checkout, it will access me, but after logout you are not allowed to access the checkout page. So in case if I try to log in with some other details which is not available in the database, if I click login, you are getting the message that invalid credential. That is also available in this video. We are going to see how to create it from scratch. To follow along, I have left the source code in the description. Fine. The first section is register user of shopping cart. So we have seen how to 123@gmail.com. So this is the guy. I'm logging in it. So I am registered. I have registered the number. I have registered the guy called 123. So let's click on logout, and now login with the registered user. So the details which we have used to register, I'm going to use it again in the in the login section. So it will allow me again. So this function is also working. Now only login user can view the checkout. So let me log out, and if I try to access the checkout page, it is not available, which I have already clearly shown you why. So this functionality is also available. Now after the logout functionality, after logging in, after if I browse to some other pages like add to cart, which you already I'll fix this error. If I check if I get into logout page, it is available. But if I log out, I can view all other pages except checkout page. Checkout page is not available. So for that, what I have to do is I have to log in again and get into that checkout page. Now show the error message if the login failed. If this is a long credential, so if I click login, you will get the error on the login section. And if I try to log in, or if I try to create the account with the same which is already available, it will not allow me. So by that case, what I'm doing is I'm passing number 2 here, and if I log in here, you will get number 1. So that's a hint. We'll do that, and then what we are going to do is we are going to use a password hash function to encrypt the password. So if you see in the database, so these are the data which is encrypted. So we know if I type the username and the same password here, click on login, it will allow me. We'll use this one. This is username and this is password. Click on login, it will allow me. But in the password section, even though the email and the password are same, but you can see on the password section this is encrypted. So what do I mean by that? So if I login with the name 123@gmail.com. I'm pasting it, I'm cutting it again, and I'm pasting it here. We know the both are same. I click login to login. But in the database, if you see the data, even the database same, even the data, email and password are same, the encrypted value is visible on the column. This is how this is where we use the password hash function in PHP. So we'll use this in this video. Follow along. Get the source code in the description to follow. In this video, let's create the table users and the user data. Fine. Now let's create the table. Clicking on new, and we have 4 columns. The first one is ID. Let us make it auto increment, which is int primary auto increment. The second one is email, varchar 200, and the third one is password, varchar 200. The fourth one is timestamp. We'll make it date and time, and we'll make the email as unique. And here the default value is current timestamp. Let us click on save. We have created the first table. Likewise, let's create the second table. We have 11 columns. Let's enter 11. The table name, click on go. The first one is ID as usual, which is going to be the primary key, and it is going to be an auto increment value. The second one is user ID, which is a foreign key, again 11. The third one is first name, varchar 200. Last name, varchar 200. Then comes company name, varchar 200. Address, varchar 200. Again another address, varchar 200. Then we have city, varchar 200. We have country, varchar 200. We have zip code, int 11. Then we have mobile number. Make this varchar 200. Click on save. So far we have created the second table as well. Let's click on the structure, primary key. Here we have user structure. This is primary key, auto increment the same way. Primary key auto. This is the file we are going to work on. This is the page login.php. Let us open here. Open file, login.php. Let's check whether our form values has proper names or not. We'll have action, same page, and a method is going to be post. The same way we have another form for register account, and we are not going to use the remember me functionality now. And again the last password. Now let's check whether it doesn't have the name attribute. And then we'll type the password, name, email, and again we have password. Now what we are going to do is we are going to add a user on the database. So users, insert, let's give him the name adnal@gmail.com, the same password, and now it's going to be MD5 as we did for the login admin. Go. Now let's see, it's there. Now what we are going to do is we are going to, let me remove first everything. We are on the login, so we'll submit this form to a page called login process.php. So let's create this. We'll use the same code as we did for the login.php file for the admin. So the config file is, we are going to be in the same file. Now the table is users, and as we have set the username and password, email, and the password we have given the name as password. This is it. Right. Now we're going to create a session called customer, and if it is set, then get into the checkout.php. Let me show you how the checkout.php looks like. This is how it looks: billing address and same address, shipping address. If the user does not exist, then we will redirect it to the login.php again with message saying 1. So we'll identify it. If the message is 1, then we'll say that it is error from the login. Everything seems alright. So now we can see the checkout page. So we'll add a condition. Only the logged in user can see the checkout page. So for that, we are creating the session after login, but on the checkout, where the checkout.php, yes, on the checkout we'll add a validation here. If the session customer is not set, then redirect to login.php. So for that, we have written a code on the admin section. So we'll copy paste that. So we can see this is a code. Copy it and paste it on the checkout. Same file. If the customer is not set, customer session, which will be created after logging in, if it is not set, then redirect to login.php, which is this one. Fine. Now if I refresh it, it will not allow me to open it. Session is not set. So let's create a session. We can only create a session only when we are logged in. So before logged in, let me add a logout button somewhere here, so that after my account, let's add a logout button on the nav bar, which we can find here. So just like drop down the category, we'll add the same code. We need drop down div. With some elements, then close the div. We'll have the text as logout. Let's check whether it is working or not. Not working. We'll copy this same code and paste it over here. This is going to be my account and this is going to be logout. So we'll comment these two, we'll use it in the future, and here we will redirect it to logout.php. we have not created yet. Over here, so this is going to be similar to what we have created for the admin login. Just set it, that's it, session destroy, and redirect to login.php, and that's it. So now let's check whether we have not saved it, and just like previous dropdown, we need to add margin top. Refresh it, you can see logout. Let's try to log in. On line number 2 login process.php, we don't have to use session start again because it is already used in the header. Let's try to access checkout.php. Logging in again, so there is an error. So I think I have not used the input type submit. I have to give the name submit. Let's try to log in again. On line number 3. So again on the checkout I am using the session. Now if you see, it is redirecting me. It's not redirecting me. Why it is happening? Let me check. We have to use this below because session is started on the header. That's the reason. Let's try to log in again. So checkout.php is visible. So if I click logout, I'll be redirected to the login page. Now if I try to access checkout, it won't allow me, because if I try to access again, it won't allow me because session is not created because we have clicked logged out. Now if I log in, I would be able to get into this page. Now let us work on register an account section. So logout, navbar, login process, tab. So we'll send the data, form data to register process.php. We have name, password, and we'll type name equal to submit. So just like we did for login process, I'll copy the same code and paste it over here, but instead here it is going to be the SQL query for insert rather than select. So the table name is users, the column name is email, and password. Let's give the name password. So we'll keep it. That is not going to make issue. Then we have email, and then we have password. So if you see, we have used MD5, so we are inserting it. So for that we'll get into php.object, and we have to search for password hash function. and it will encrypt the text to MD5. Let's type password underscore hash. So this is for encryption. We have to look forward. So this is it. So the first argument is going to be the input field. And let's try inserting it. So if it is registered, then so if the SQL works fine, we'll use this query. If the SQL works fine, that means our data is inserted. If not, we'll redirect it to login.php with the message 2. Fine, let's check. We have just one variable. Let's make it vishal@gmail.com. I'm skipping this re-enter password. It says message 2, that means a query was not successful. Let's check where we are making mistake. Let's output the error as well. So we'll use this error function. Here we have to pass the SQL and the connection CONN is the variable which we have defined. It is showing me error. Let's see why. Unexpected echo. So now let's try. No error. Let's check whether it is inserted or not. Loading. Yes, it is inserted. Let's delete it and try again. This time we won't be getting num rows. I think we have changed it. This should come here. Now let's try to insert again. This name is not there here. There's only one name. Click on submit. Register process. Let's see. It's inserted, but it is not getting redirected. Okay. The thing is, we are running query 2 times. That's the issue. We'll comment this out. We'll use this error over here. It won't show up because it will redirect to login.php. Let's delete this and try again. Control Shift R. Control Shift R. Register. It is inserted but is not getting redirected. Oh, I'm really very sorry. I'm working on login process. You have to press Ctrl Z. Yeah, if the query is getting run, and then it should get redirected. Let's try checkout.php. Let's check whether we are logged in or not. Let's log out and try to log in with the user. So login is working. Now let's if MySQL query runs, then create session checkout.php else file. Now let's work here. Let's delete this for the last time. Register. It's not getting registered. So that's the reason why we added the error. We'll add this error here. Let's check whether it is run or not. It has been inserted. Again, let's check. Like this. Register. It says undefined con. Over here. Null is given on line number 21. Control G 21. Duplicate entry because it already exists. Delete it. I think I have already deleted it, but it is not showing up. Registration process. Try with some other email. Click on login. Again it says duplicate entry. How? Oh shit. I'm so sorry. Yes. If I click on logout, the data is, and if I try to log in with that, let's create it with some other amount. Register. It is registered. and I believe session is created. Let's get into home and again check out. Now if I log out and try check out, it should not allow me. Yes, now we know we have created the account using Agnel, sorry, this one, vishal@gmail.com. Let's try with this. It is not allowing me. I think it is because of this password hash. Now let us try again. And yes, it is working. It was because of this password hash that it could not able to identify it. Now the way which I tried to log in was incorrect. Now if I show you, let me create admin@gmail.com. the same here, register. It is registered, and that means the data is inserted. Fine. Now if I log out and try to log in, it will not allow me. It is because on the login process we have used MD5. So the hack which we are going to do is, we won't be doing the hack, but we will be doing the regular process. But let me show you how it can be hacked. If you click on edit, and we know we have used this one, and change it to MD5 and click on go, and now it's in the MD5 format. Now if you try to log in, it will allow you. So we don't want this kind of stuff. So for that, what we do is, we'll remove this MD5, and while inserting, we are changing it to password hash. Now what we do is, we'll run the select statement, and we'll get the result, and we'll fetch it using MySQL fetch associative array, and we'll get the password. We know the column name is password. We'll store it into column db stored password, just to identify us that it is coming from password database, sorry, password table. Now instead of this, what we need is, we need to use a function just like we use password hash .net. We'll have a function called password verify. So what it will do is, it will decrypt the password underscore hash. Let's go. So this is it, password verify, and the first argument is going to be the password which we have entered on the input field, and the second one is the hashed value. And now it would work. We don't have to use the tricks. Now let's try with another name, danny@gmail.com. Submit. That means it is registered. Click on logout. Now again, without any hack, it should log in. Yes, it is working. So the password hash does works. Now in case if I did something wrong, it should say the message. So we'll work on the message now. If we try to insert some other thing, it should give message 2. It has allowed, so let's see, we'll fix that as well. Fine. Now if I click on logout, if I try something which is not there, it is showing me 1. So on the login.php, just above the I am a returning customer, we'll check with the PHP block if is set $_ request message, then again $_get ID is equal to 1. Again it's an F block. If it is 1, then we'll write HTML div with alert success. Sorry, it should not be success, it is danger. Invalid credential. Try again on line number 25. So the if is missing. Undefined index ID. Actually it is message. Invalid credentials. Alert danger. Fine. Let's try again. This is some useless value. Click on submit. Invalid credentials. The same way we'll do this for this guy, just above the form. Here error creating account, but this is 2. If it is 2, we'll try to pass 2 here. Error creating account. This 2 will be passed only when there is error in SQL. So this is it. Let's try to insert some useless value which is already available. Register. This value is already available, so let's create. It says message to error creating. So again this is already available. Let me remove this. This user is already available with the password. Let's try. Error 2. We are getting right what we want. That's all for this video.